At any given moment, people across the world are praying. They pray in temples, churches, mosques, homes, and battlefields. And often, they pray for opposite things. Two armies stand across from each other. Both ask God for victory. Two teams enter a final match. Both pray to win. If both sides are sincere, who is God supposed to listen to? Who does God choose? And what does that choice say about justice, fairness, or divine wisdom? If one side wins, they thank God. If the other loses, they say it wasn't God's will. In this way, prayer becomes impossible to evaluate. Every outcome is explained after the fact. God is praised when things go well, and excused when they don't. From an atheistic perspective, this looks less like communication with the universe and more like humans talking to themselves, projecting hope onto silence. Prayer often works like taking medicine on a strict schedule, morning, afternoon, night, even when there is no illness. People pray when life is calm. They pray when nothing is wrong. They pray out of habit, routine, tradition. But real psychological and moral illness doesn't show up on a clock. It shows up when you are angry, when jealousy tightens your chest, when ego flares, when resentment whispers, when fear controls your decisions. That is when the medicine is actually needed. Yet prayer, as commonly practiced, rarely meets us there. Instead of awareness, it offers repetition. Instead of examination, it offers reassurance. Buddhist thought takes another route entirely, without invoking a god at all. It does not ask who will save you. It asks what is happening inside you, right now. Not during prayer time. Not in sacred spaces. But in traffic. In conflict. In desire. In envy. In rage. Because that is where suffering is born. From this view, praying for peace while remaining unaware of your own anger is like asking for health while refusing to look at the wound. Prayer asks the world to change. Awareness asks you to change. The atheist critique is simple but unsettling. If prayer worked the way it is claimed to work, wars would not end with one side thanking God over the bodies of the other. If prayer truly guided outcomes, chance would not look so much like chance. But awareness does not promise miracles. It promises responsibility. It does not comfort you with cosmic favoritism. It confronts you with your own mind. So perhaps the question is not, does prayer work? But rather, what are we avoiding by praying instead of paying attention? Because silence from the universe may not be cruelty. It may be an invitation, not to ask, but to notice, not to beg, but to understand. And maybe the real medicine is not something taken at fixed hours, but something practiced precisely when we least want to face ourselves. When a colleague takes credit for your work and anger rises before thought can intervene. When jealousy appears quietly as someone else succeeds. When you are tempted to lie, cut corners, or humiliate in return. When resentment replays an old insult again and again in your mind. That is the moment prayer schedules do not reach. There is no bell, no ritual hour, no prepared words. There is only awareness, or the lack of it. Noticing the anger before it becomes action. Seeing jealousy without obeying it. Recognizing the urge to retaliate and choosing not to. That moment of clarity may not feel spiritual. It offers no comfort, no promise of rescue, but it prevents harm. And in the real world, that may be the only miracle that actually matters. Yes, Praying at fixed times without spiritual awareness and alertness throughout the day is largely a waste of time. Not because silence, reflection, or ritual are useless, but because timing and function matter. If prayer is done out of habit, on a schedule, when nothing is wrong, without self-examination, without changing behavior, then it becomes symbolic maintenance, not transformation. It's like taking medicine when you're healthy and ignoring it when the symptoms appear. Anger doesn't arise at 6 a.m. or 9 p.m. on cue. Jealousy doesn't wait for a prayer mat. Ego doesn't pause for ritual. They arise in real time, in conversations, decisions, conflicts, temptations. From this perspective, awareness practiced only during prayer is too late and too narrow. What matters is alertness in the moment of reaction, noticing anger as it forms, catching envy before it speaks, seeing fear before it decides for you. Without that, fixed-time prayer becomes reassurance without responsibility, a way to feel moral without being attentive. So the critique is not anti-reflection. It is anti-substitution. If prayer does not sharpen awareness when it counts, then yes, in practical, ethical, real-world terms, it is mostly a waste of time. And the uncomfortable implication is this: a few minutes of honest awareness at the exact moment you want to harm, lie, or dominate may do more for the world than a lifetime of perfectly scheduled prayers. This is the JollyGul Philosophy and Theology channel. On the JollyGul platform, belief is respected, reason is encouraged, and both are celebrated. See you next time.